Narendra Modi and his team before the start of the summit, India's G20 presidency is now proving to be path-breaking, historic and high on delivery. Now, what is being seen as a highly ambitious summit, all of the three pledges, when it comes to decisive, inclusive and action-oriented, all of them have been fulfilled. The biggest highlight, however, is the consensus that is now clinched on the joint declaration. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was announced that G20 has now officially been adopted as far as the New Delhi Leaders Summit declaration. This is the far-reaching as it signals that the negotiators have resolved deep differences between Russia and China over the wording on the war in Ukraine. Times Now was the first channel to get word-by-word details of the reworded statement before Prime Minister credited the hard work of his team for the massive breakthrough that has now been achieved.
एक खुशखबरी मिली है हमारी टीम्स के हार्डवर्क से और आप सभी के सहयोग से नई दिल्ली G20 लीडर्स समिट डिक्लेरेशन पर सहमति बनी है कि इस लीडर्स डिक्लेरेशन को भी एडॉप्ट किया जाए। मैं इस डिक्लेरेशन को एडॉप्ट करने की घोषणा करता हूं। इस अवसर पर मैं हमारे मंत्रीगण, शेरपा और सभी अधिकारियों का हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूं जिन्होंने अथाक परिश्रम करके इसे सार्थक किया है।
Amplifying the voice of the global south, India as the G20 president has also successfully pushed engagement with the African Union, bringing
that the African Union has this morning become a permanent member of the G20, that too during the Indian presidency. In terms of its organization and program, the Indian presidency, if I may say so, has been exceptional. The G20 has contributed to making India world ready, and the particular satisfaction for us that the African Union has this morning become a permanent member of the G20, that too during the Indian presidency. In terms of its organization and program, the Indian presidency, if I may say so, has been exceptional. The G20 has contributed to making India world ready.
The development, as you know, is a development that President Ramaphosa has been advocating for quite some time. We increased that level of advocacy at the summit in Bali last year. We equally continue to engage various G20 member countries during bilateral interactions on this matter. Finally, we now see that the AU has been formally accepted as a member of the G20. The G20 is a very important platform for forging international economic cooperation, and you cannot have such a premier forum exclude a continent of 1.4 billion people. Regardless of Africa's economic status, Africa is an integral part of the global economy. We share with the rest of the world a lot of similar challenges: climate change. We have security challenges that we are facing as a continent. Therefore, this is an important step that signals the kind of reforms that we've been looking for in various multilateral platforms.
Okay, but you also believe that India plays a very important role in this, and you know the logo that we have, so there's going to become one earth, one family and one future. Will this change the global order, how the world treats the economic policies?
Now, India has played a huge role in this regard. We are very thankful and grateful to India's leadership of the G20. We are highly impressed with the manner in which Prime Minister Modi has sought to bring in the voice of the global south and the voice of many smaller economies that were often excluded from such forums. And so it's a very positive development. India has set a bar for future summits, that those summits must be geared towards ensuring that there is a great deal of inclusivity in terms of determining the global economic agenda.
Government now says that this summit has been the most ambitious ever, with more than double substantive work that has been done with India at the helm as compared to the previous presidencies.
India has been the spokesperson of all the global south and spelled out their priorities in this document. G20, where the leaders give a direction to global agendas, and this has laid the foundation for very bold action. But more than anything else, it has amplified the voice of global south. It has also demonstrated that India has a huge capacity of bringing the world together and leading the world in developmental and geopolitical issues as well.
While